From the heart of Bulldog Country, this is Sports Central on Bulldog Sports TV, brought to you by Harrison County Community Hospital. We're your weekly home for in-depth coverage, highlights, and insider insight on everything South Harrison Bulldogs. Whether it's game-winning moments or what's coming up next, Sports Central is your front row seat to it all. It's time to break it down, fire it up, and celebrate Bulldog pride like never before. Let's join your host, CF Rainey.
All right, let me get my camera straight here. There we go, that works. And glad you are tuned in as Sports Central midweek right before Christmas break. We don't have a ton to talk about right now as it's still early season for both basketball and wrestling. Feeling a little festive tonight, so decided to move out in front of one of our Christmas trees at our house. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas coming up. But wanted to talk about basketball and wrestling here for just a moment. We've live streamed 2 South Harrison basketball games, both GRC games, and South Harrison last night played Gallatin at home, and a couple of great games last night. We'll go ahead and move over here and talk about that a little bit. And we'll begin by looking at the boys' record. So you see the boys currently sitting at 4-4, and they're getting ready to go to Marceline on Friday to play them. And so Marceline, undefeated in the conference. South Harrison dropped their first conference game last night to Gallatin. Gallatin came in the number 1 seed as far as preseason voting. Gallatin was picked first to finish first in the GRC, and it was a great game last night. And if you watched it on Bulldog Sports TV, we appreciate it. And the South Harrison boys led at halftime, and then Gallatin had a big run in the third quarter and able to come back and win that one. But a great game, went all the way down to the last few minutes until it was really decided, and Gallatin was able to hold South Harrison off there. And so South Harrison will head to Marceline. And you look at Marceline's record, right, 5-2. They've played 3 conference games, and we'll look at conference standings here in a moment. But they have beat Milan, Polo, and Putnam. And you'll see those are the 3 of the teams that are near the bottom of the standings in the Grand River Conference. And so now let's look over here on Sports Central, brought to you by Harrison County Community Hospital. Let's look at the girls' record. South Harrison girls stand at 4-4. They are undefeated in the GRC, and they're headed towards Marceline as well on Friday night. And that'll be a game right before Christmas break start. And Marceline undefeated as well, South Harrison in the GRC. And South Harrison girls had a big conference win over Gallatin last night, 51-14, and really showed off their defense, showed off their ability to score out of transition, and knocked down a ton of three-pointers. I know Briley Sherrill was really hot from the three-point line to begin with, and South Harrison was able to knock down those shots. And, again, defensively, Gallatin really couldn't get anything going in the half court. And hats off to Coach Kel Watson and that South Harrison girls team as they really locked it down, man-to-man defense in the half court. And then worked against a couple of switching zones with Gallatin last night to get that big win. And so it'll be a huge game in conference on Friday. And let's go ahead and pull up those standings real quick. And so you see on the girls' side, Marceline 6-1 overall, 3-0 in the conference, and so they and South Harrison both undefeated in conference. South Harrison has already defeated Gallatin, beat Brookfield and Trenton, and so there in the middle you see Maysville, Milan, and Gallatin. So South Harrison already with victories over Gallatin, looking to get one on the road, and it's one of those, especially. Marceline's a new team in the conference, and if you're not familiar with where Marceline is, it's over 2 hours away, and it's almost to Macon, Missouri, so it's a pretty good drive. And so South Harrison, the thing you have to stay on top of for both Coach Aaron Fitzpatrick, Coach Kel Watson, is the kids finishing up with Christmas break as far as school, and getting ready for that break, and then having to get on a bus, drive 2.5 hours down there. and we'll talk to both of the coaches and get those interviews on the next couple of days. We did get our interview with South Harrison wrestling coach Casey McFall on today, and we'll talk about wrestling here in a moment. But let's look over at the boys' side. So South Harrison does take their first loss in conference last night to Gallatin, and there's 3 teams there on top: Gallatin, Marceline, and Maysville, each undefeated so far. So South Harrison has the opportunity to jump back up, at least in that number 2 spot, and hope that someone can maybe knock Gallatin off, or they get a couple losses and be able to get a victory there and maybe move into that top spot, but at least stay in that upper half. So huge games Friday night in Marceline, and for both boys and girls. And also want to let you know, South Harrison Wrestling, we talked to Coach Casey McFall today, and we got that interview out. They had a quad last week versus at Trenton versus Trenton, Albany, and Penny. Hamilton High School. South Harrison went 2-1 as a team on the boys' side, and so did really well. And Coach McFall talks about that on our interview. So make sure to go back and catch that on either Facebook or YouTube. And you can watch those anytime. Always enjoy interviewing the coaches. They're also gracious with their time, and so really appreciate that. Plan on getting interviews done with Coach Aaron Fitzpatrick and Coach Kel Watson basketball here either this evening or tomorrow, and to get those out as soon as we can get those edited and up and going. But wrestling, right, has done well so far. They have one more meet. It's a 2-day meet. It's the Battle of Katy Trail, and it's down in Sedalia, and Coach McFall talks about it in our interview. Over 40 schools will be represented, so a huge turnout from all over the state of Missouri. Different classifications will be represented. Also, a couple of teams from out of state will be there as well. And so a big opportunity right before Christmas break for Coach Casey McFall and both the boys and girls wrestling team to go down and have a good showing there. I do want to mention before we go here, one thing that I saw as I was going through some things is that we have reached, in just the short time we've been going, over 200,000 views on Facebook. And so my goal to start the year was to get over 100,000 as we went. And right now we've got over 200,000 views on all of our Facebook content. So we appreciate everyone that watches, that shares our content, watches live. And we're excited about where Bulldog Sports TV is and where we continue to go. And so we won't have any more live streams for sports until after Christmas break, and then we will be at the South Harrison Invitational Basketball Tournament, both of our home wrestling meets that'll be coming up after Christmas break, as well as all of our home basketball games. And so we're excited to continue to bring you all of the South Harrison athletics. And over Christmas break, we probably won't do any Sports Centrals over Christmas break, but I've talked to a couple of former Bulldogs, and I'm going to try to work out times over Christmas break to get some interviews. So I mentioned sometimes in our lives, comment. We'll put something out here in the next few days to give you an opportunity to maybe post something and comment on one of our posts to let us know, hey, who is a former Bulldog you'd like to hear from? If you're watching this live or you watch this later recorded, put it in the comments down below. Let us know who you'd like to hear from, former Bulldogs, because we're going to try to get some of those interviews out over Christmas break. We appreciate everyone tuning in, not only on our Sports Central interviews, and here on Sports Central we do weekly, sponsored by Harrison County Community Hospital. Appreciate all of the support from local businesses and everyone that likes and shares and subscribes. If you're just coming in watching, make sure to go back and catch all of this recording as we talk about basketball and wrestling. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll have a couple of things special that we'll get out over Christmas break, and make sure to stay tuned the next couple of days to catch our coaches' interviews with Aaron Fitzpatrick, South Harrison varsity boys coach, and Kel Watson, South Harrison varsity girls coach. This is CF Rainey for Bulldog Sports TV, again wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.